Oh, 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 wow. Oh, wow, what is that? Is that someone with, mental illness? Wait, let me get a closer look.
ChrisChan is a high-functioning autistic child. This past fall, on his own initiative, he entered a contest based on a favorite cartoon character.
What I had to do was exactly what Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, and I'd listen to what Sonic says at the end of it, and write it down for a whole week, and then I had to mail it in, and I had to be drawn out of a hat, and I just won.
Oh, yeah. They look like they need some harassing. Yeah. That's a good idea. Let's go harass the mentally ill kid on the internet. That's a good idea. Oh, what? Wait. He ended up his dementia mother? He raped his mom with dementia? What a sicko. What a sick person to do that. Why would they do that? Why? How could this be? How did this happen? Now I'm going to have to harass him even more.
Ahoy, mateys. Welcome back to the Captain Patriot YouTube channel. Today, I'm talking about mental health issues and the internet and how the two don't exactly go very well together. It's like combining tomato with a burger. It just does not go very well together. Or pineapple and a bucket of lemons. I think you get what I mean. I really wanted to talk about Chris Chandler in this video. If you're not familiar with Chris Chandler, he is the inventor of Sonic Chew. The Sonic Chew story legend has it that a long time ago, he was but just an autistic individual who just was vibing. And then the internet got involved. The internet happened. Okay, look, listen. Look here, look, listen.
Look here! Look, listen!
I think Chris Chandler was a product of his environment, but not like Chris Chandler really, but more of like the idea of Chris Chandler, like more of the concept of who he is and kind of how he became the monster that everyone knows him to be today. And honestly, the reason I want to talk about this is because a video came through my feed that reminded me of Chris Chandler. And I'm going to play that clip for you right now so you can kind of get an idea of what it was that I saw and why it kind of drove me to want to make this video in the first place. So take a look.
Sorry about that, followers, but I read something on YouTube, one of my comments on YouTube. Someone told me that I would never be a real woman. Guess for that message, I'm saying fuck you because I will be a woman one day.
All right, now that you've seen the video, you have a good idea of what it is I'm talking about, and there's a couple of similarities that I'm sure you guys can find for yourselves between Chris Chandler and that individual that I just showed you. Unfortunately, the reason that this made me want to make a video about it is because I think this is a perfectly avoidable situation that we've been in before. It seems like a no-brainer that we should probably put in some sort of guardrail system for people with mental illness if they're going to be on the internet. That's it. That's the gist of the video. Is I don't think we can just allow people who have mental illness or autism or whatever it might be, depression, anxiety, to have uncontrolled access to the internet. Because if you end up spiraling on the internet, like we saw Chris Chandler do over the span of 20 plus years, odds are it's going to end very poorly. I think the insane amount of harassment he received online and bullying he received drove him in one direction. I'm seeing this with other people on YouTube as well. You get enough of a good thing, and the internet can and is a good thing because it connects us all together. It allows us to communicate instantaneously, but too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And I think this is no different. I don't think there's any difference between this individual and Chris Chandler 20 years ago. Hey, if you guys haven't yet, you should hit that subscribe button and be part of the crew.
That's an order. That's an order. Part of the crew. Part of the ship. Part of the crew. Part of the ship. Part of the crew. Part of the man. Part of the crew. Part of the ship. Hold hands!
Part of the ship, part of the crew, part of the ship, part of the crew.
Like the video if you haven't liked it yet. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Please and thank you. Okay. You know, there's so many better ways that this could be handled, right? You don't need to let people who have mental health issues onto the internet with uncontrolled access, right? You don't need to give people rope to hang themselves with. You don't need to take someone who's thinking of suicide to a bridge and leave them alone. These are things you should not be doing. For some reason, it seems like it's perfectly acceptable because it's on the internet and who cares? It's on the it's the internet. So it's like, it's not real. You know, it's not real, but there are real consequences, as we've seen from Chris Chandler, as we'll see again in the future with a number of other people. It's actually quite depressing and sad when you think about it, because there's plenty of research that supports the idea that with increased usage of social media, you also get increased depression and increased anxiety. You know what's crazy is that, like, we know this is a bad thing for people. We know the internet is not a good thing for people's mental health. We can see that with social media usage. As social media usage increases, so does the risk of depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts and a host of other bad things. It's clear to me that people who struggle with mental health already with a baseline struggle, right? They're born with a baseline struggle, right? They're not like you and I. They're not like the normal people, quote unquote, normal people. They have a condition. And there's nothing wrong with having a condition, but sometimes you have to find ways to work around that condition. For example, if you're wheelchair bound, you can't really use stairs all that well, but there are ramps. There are ramps for people as a workaround. And so I think there needs to be a workaround for people who struggle with autism if they want to be online, on the internet. Obviously, the easy answer is just tell people to be nicer, right? That's the easy answer. You just say, oh, just be nicer. It's fine. What you don't realize is there's a lot of stupid people out there. A lot of people who might not know this person is autistic might think they're just being transgender because it's trendy, right? You're going to have a lot of stupid people assuming the worst. Unfortunately, that's the reality of the situation we live in. That's the reality of being on the internet too. There are a lot of stupid people on the internet. And unfortunately, that's not a solution, right? Just saying be nicer, why can't you just be nicer, is not actually solving the problem. It's just kicking the can down the road.
Because transphobias are people that hate trans folks and they want to hurt them and kill them. Well, guess what, buddy? That ain't fucking happening in my watch. Because if you make a comic about me, I'm blocking your fucking ass, and I will do something. I will do something that you will never love.
It seems like there's like two sides: the be nicer side and the side that actually understands that people with mental health conditions should not be treated the same in society, hence why we have disability, hence why we have programs for people with mental health conditions, hence why we used to institutionalize people who were violent with mental health conditions. Now, instead, we just let them out on the street and just turn them into homeless people. That's cool. Good job, government. Great job, America. Bing, 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 bing. Well done. We need to see this from a more rational point of view, and unfortunately, I just don't feel like we are. I feel like Chris Chandler could have been a great learning moment for all of us to say, okay, yeah, so harassing people on the internet does have some pretty severe consequences, because the argument, in my opinion, could be made that Chris Chandler would have never done what he did to his mom had people not ruthlessly bullied him on the internet. And how do you solve that? Well, you take Chris Chandler off the internet, because you're never going to stop bullies. There's always going to be people who bully. Honestly, I think there needs to be a solution for this. Just a solution that actually works. So not like be nicer. That's not good enough. And I blurred the person's face because I don't want to send their stuff out to more people and send more harassers their way, because there's always going to be those people who think it's funny, right? There's always those people who think it's funny to go make fun of mentally ill people on the internet. I think we need to really take care of people, and we are not currently taking care of people that we should be, unfortunately. And that's the gist. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it was a little bit more of a serious topic for you guys, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.